Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to take a sneak peek at Jeume's kit just hours before she comes out in Global. This is something I didn't think we would get to do until tomorrow morning when the patch came out, when like WoTV got all their stuff updated, but since she's already technically out in JP, the good news is we get to take a look at what her kit is going to be like. The bad news is she was 12k paid for her like special you can buy her pack over in JP. Now, that's no guarantee she's going to be 12k paid in Global, but you know, I mean, if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'm betting she's going to cost you 12k paid, or you'll have to go to her banner and pull with your regular Visior, and we'll see what the banners are all like tomorrow. But that's the news there. The important thing in this video is we're going to look at her kit, and I'm just going to tell you right now, it looks really good. Like, she's looking nice. So let's dive in here. Let's take a look at what Jeume is going to be. She's 100 cost water unit, Spring Sunflower Sword, aka her new job, with Trick Lancer Viking. Her TMR is an accessory with attack, defense, and HP on it. Nothing special there. The buff it gives is an attack steroid, an accuracy buff, and a slash attack resist pin debuff is what that looks like to me. Or yes, it looks like, or a slash resistance debuff on the enemy. It's a self buff only. This buff is nothing extra special, I don't think. I don't see a ton of people running this TMR, especially on her, because she's bringing other good buffs to the table. One thing that blew me away with her straight away, if we scroll down and look at her total stats without dream enhancements, 70 base agility is fast. Like, she's going to be speeding around. You love to see a 70 agility number right there. Her HP at 5400 is pretty good. That's a nice high attack at 683. Her resists look really good as well. She's weak to missile, but very strong against slash, very strong against magic, decently strong against strike. And then if you dream enhance her, you're looking at 7.8k HP, 863 attack. She's looking good. Like, statistic wise, I think she's bringing what she needs to bring to the table. Her master ability is single target resist and attack 20%. That's where she was getting some of that big attack stat number from. Then she reduces magic damage based on, you know, like how far away she is from him. So another one of those little barriers right there. 15% magic damage reduction is nice. 15% more slash resist, 15% more magic resist. Again, that led to those bloated numbers that we saw on the next page. Those like 35%. Well, she's getting 15 right there. And then an upgrade to her skill, Spring Storm. So let's look at her skills real quick, and straight off the bat, her support ability, Jade Martial Arts, or whatever it's going to be called in Global, is insane. 12 defense, 20 defense pin, 20 slash attack resist pin, and 12 AOE resist. This does at like I mean, you run this every single time on her. This opens her up in a huge way. Then, because she has Trick Lancer, she gets the 25 crit rate, 40 defense pin Trick Lancer support ability, putting her at 80 defense penetration just with 2 support abilities. Now, if you want to speed her up a little bit more, you can go for the 12% agility +1 jump from Goddess's Dance. So really 2 to pick from right here. I think most people will probably run the defense penetration, unless you're just looking to give her haste and just lap the heck out of people. Then you could go Goddess's Dance, or you might need that extra jump. You never know when you need +1 jump depending on the map. Otherwise, you do have Viking Knowledge for the attack HP buff. You can nullify confusion and stun and get a little bit of accuracy. You might need that sometimes. And then missile resist, you're probably never going to run that. So it's going to be a mix of these first 3, with Jade Martial Arts being run every single time, and those are great support abilities. So 100 cost makes sense right there. Okay, her new counter move, once again, it's only a 30% counter chance. It's a ranged counter attack. This is probably what people will run on her. It is a preemptive counter, so there is a nice chance with how hard she's going to be hitting that somebody walks into her range, attacks her, and maybe they just popped courage, and then boom, she executes them. So it's not terrible. This is going to be the one you run on her. So it's fine. It's not like game-changingly good or anything, but that's what you'll run. Then here you go, her new main job. Okay, straight off the bat, She has a guaranteed hit move. It's her cheat move. It's short range, but if she kills somebody with this move, she will recover AP when they die. So a nice little AP generator on her cheap attack and access to 100% hit chance move. Straight away, you love to see it. Then her first buff that we get to see is a self-only buff when conditions are met, HP recovery when she drops below 50%. So like a lot of newer units in this game have, if you drop her below 50, she's gonna pop herself right back up. So she's got some self-healing built in there, defense 25, and then absorb 50% of the damage done for herself for 4 turns. I love this buff a lot. It essentially just makes her hard to kill and gives her a ton of self-healing, especially like if you drop her low the first time and don't kill her, she'll heal up, and then if she gets to attack again, she'll heal up even more. This is going to make her very, very difficult to kill. It's not the best buff that she has, that's her group buff, but this is a great self buff. Then Flower Cross, this is a medium to long range small AOE attack that dispels re-raise and does 165% modifier. So she already has access to guaranteed hit, now she has access to dispel re-raise, and that's just in her first 2 attacks. We're off to a great start here with things you're looking for on a DPS. Now, Prayer of Sprouting that gets upgraded to the Life of Flowering, or if we want to look at what the preview in the game gave us, it's Full Bloom Prayer. So let me read this right here and then we'll go look at the WoTV calc. Bestows magic damage reduction and raises unit attack resist for 4 turns, and bestows debuff effect courage removal ceiling for 3 turns to successful attacks of allies. So it does all that for her group within area around self for 4 turns, and she will survive fatal damage 1 time, aka courage, and additional effect raises slash and magic attack resist and lowers AP consumption while courage is in effect, and recovers AP. So it does all of those things. Now, a little bit more info here. The reduced magic damage taken is 25% for allies if they okay, good. 25% reduced magic damage is great. 25 single target resist is great. So we're just kind of looking at the numbers here. There's your courage ceiling, so she could give courage ceiling. There's courage for herself, 25 slash resist, 25 magic resist, which, by the way, we'll look at where that's going to put her with just this buff. Decrease AP consumption by 33% and restores 20 AP for herself. So 25% slash resist and magic resist. If we go back to her stat page right here and scroll all the way down, that puts her with just that buff cast and these and just her stats 60%. It's not going to take much more to get her to a number that if the person that's hitting her isn't running a massive amount of penetration, they're just going to kind of be tickling her. And so I love this. Even though there's a ton of penetration in the game, at least you are forcing your opponent to have that. And that is important. Force your opponent to do the right build. Don't assume they have it and let them get away with building something else. This is a huge buff. This is you run this every time. This is turn 1 for her every time, almost no matter what. Okay, next up, Flower Feast and Double Dance. This is a 2-target single target selector with that medium range of about 4. It dispels buffs, haste, physical damage increase, magic damage increase. Is once again a 165% mod. So every one of her attacks is doing something very, very useful. You have guaranteed hit, you have dispel re-raise, you have dispel buffs. Then her big AOE attack, her big diamond shaped AOE, decreases AOE resist by 60 and gives her 40 more slash attack resist pin, putting her at 80 when it's combined with her good support ability, and now she's off to the races, right? This takes care of basically all the ways that somebody's going to be blocking your attacks, except for protect, except the upgrade just spells protect, and except for defense, but she has 100 defense penetration. More on that here in a minute. So this move's going to hit like an absolute truck. It's also a 200% mod. It decreases their magic attack resist penetration by 40. So if you're fighting mages with this and they live through the attack and you're stacking magic resist on her, she will lower their ability to penetrate that magic resist, making her even harder to kill. And it lowers her healing power. She has so many and it does something else moves. She is really springboarding us into the 4th year in the game. And I know water players are going to just be excited to have a like huge carry, you know, an A2 level potentially great sword user for their element. And I'm excited for them as well. My baby J account is going hard on this unit, and my water team with like Young King Elda is going to be ready to rock it. So I'm very, very excited for this. Okay, next, her sub job. What sub job are you running? Here, it gets a little bit less impressive, but still fine. So she does have a single target disable that you can select 2 targets on. That's neat. Maybe for like manual PvP, I could see that being insane. And then Fist Spring, this is a slashing attack that's a debuff of attack, magic, and agility. One thing she doesn't really have is a multi-hit move across any of these, but she has access to piercing and greatsword, both of which have a multi-hit vision card if you want to use her in PvE chaining teams, maybe as like an agility debuffer or, you know, AOE resist debuffer or something like that. Okay. Trick Lancer. Why would you run Trick Lancer? For access to piercing attacks. That's why. Even though you have a ton of slash attack resist penetration, you still might hit a little bit harder with a piercing move. So here you have access to those. Okay, moving on. Viking. Why would you run Viking? Nope, you probably just wouldn't. I don't know. You could, nope, it's not. You're not gonna run Viking. And then her limit break, here it is. Reduce physical damage taken, the larger the attack size areas buff for the target. Reduce magic damage taken, larger attack size, increased buff for target. So there's that, like again, that shield based on size that she's giving to herself. And it decreases all elemental resist by 20% for her, or for the target she's hitting, so she can elemental resist debuff. Oberon, like regular King Oberon's limit break also does this, where he doesn't just debuff, like if you're running a Pierce chaining team and you have Oberon in it, he can debuff all elemental resist, helping everybody in your squad. She can do that as well. This also has a 240% mod. It's gonna hit really hard. This chick looks great. Like, she is going to be an absolute beast of a carry if you're pulling for her or purchasing her. Now, here's her sword. There's the 20 defense pin that you need to get her to 100. If you run both of her support abilities and you equip this sword, you're at 100 defense penetration. Defense just won't matter to her. She just will not care about it at all. Okay, it also gives her 15 accuracy and reduces magic damage taken when her HP is above 70%, making it really, extremely difficult for mages to one-shot her, despite all the rest of the magic resistance and, you know, ways of mitigating magic damage that she has. This is one more way, and when you combine that with the fact that the first time she's dropped below 50% HP, she's probably going to heal herself back up, and she's going to be life draining if she gives herself that buff. This is a very important sword for her. The assault version has 215 damage. I think that's the one you're going to build here. And guys, that is Jeume's kit. So here's my plan for her tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming. Of course, I'll do the patch review video in the morning straight away, but then I'll be live when I get home from work. It's not going to be a long stream. I have my son's going to be with my parents tomorrow after school for a few hours, so I'll sneak in like an hour and a half long stream or something like that, and we're gonna get ourselves a Jeume, y'all, on the main account and the Baby J account. Main account is also going to get Oldoa, so a ton of polling happening. And happy 4th anniversary. I'm like, even though it's going to cost me money, I don't care. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. The Baby J account, I won't spend it all. I have 80,000 Visior on that account and still story to clear, so no problems there. Anyway, I hope to see you guys at the stream. Good luck on your polling if you get to pull before I see you live, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.